Hello, welcome to part three of my video series, which is just me, R.C. Thomas, reading lots of haiku, but not the whole book, from my book, Faunistics, a collection of wild haiku and illustrations. And if you've missed part one and part two, I'll catch you up. It's basically me taking you on an around the world trip through the means of haiku, spotting loads of cool like wildlife and stuff, and just seeing what it's all about. We did Europe, we did Africa, we did Asia, we did Oceania. Today we're going to look at first, I think, North America, and then we're going to go to South America, and then we're going to go to the end of the world. In my opinion, it's so barren, Antarctica. But I'm getting in my virtual prison cell. Here I am. Ah, let me out. It's just a joke. Yeah. So yeah, let's get on with the show. North America. What do we have in North America? We have a bullfrog in North America. The bullfrog is very big in North America. Look how big a bullfrog is in North America. And the American bullfrog in North America, it inhabits lakes, swamps, and ponds in North America. It will eat any small animal they can overpower in North America, including rodents, snakes, lizards, amphibians, crustaceans, bats, and even small birds. So let's see. Bullfrog. The pond it's made, full of feathers. Bullfrog. The pond it's made, full of feathers. This is a millipede. We all know a millipede by all those legs. So many legs. Does it need all those legs? I'd say maybe it's greedy with all those legs. Around 7,000 species of millipede, of which 1,400 species are found in North America alone. It's one of the most common species, sorry, is the Narcissus americanus, which you saw pictured there, found in the forests of southeastern North America. Winter moving. Moss spores on each millipede leg. Winter moving. Moss spores on each millipede leg. This is a Texas longhorn. The little longhorn with those very little long horns. Traveled from Spain to the West Indies and then to Mexico before reaching Texas and the rest of North America. Set free to roam wild in Texas in the 1500s until the end of the Civil War, and it's accustomed to surviving without water for days, feeding off the brush on their long journeys. Drought on the horizon, longhorns licking up dew. Drought on the horizon, longhorns licking up dew. Here's an opossum. An opossum looks dead, but it's not dead. Maybe it's playing dead. It plays dead when it's under the threat of predators. Despite the phrasing playing opossum, the opossum isn't really playing. Rather, it goes into an involuntary catatonic state to keep itself safe. Opossums faint visions of wild dogs playing dead. Opossums faint visions of wild dogs playing dead. We'll head down to South America. We'll find the jumping stick. There's the jumping stick with his little eyes. Look at the little eyes. This was a fun one to write because the words jumping and stick just lends lovely to a monarchy. Sun, jumping, stick, to jumping, stick. Sun jumping, stick to jumping, stick. Depending on how you say it, it gives different meanings. It's incredible. It's insane. I'm out of my mind. This is a taruka. Two reasons I wanted to put a taruka in my book. One, because it's a nice animal, and two, because the word taruka is really nice. So I thought if I could get the words tarukas and pursue in a poem, that would be really nice. So I had a go at that. But first, let's read some facts. Here's some facts. They're found at high elevations in the Andes. They're on the endangered list and have been since 1976 due to poaching, habitat loss, and competition with domestic fauna at higher altitudes. So, like I said, I was determined to get the word tarukas and pursue, Pursue, in a poem. Could I do it? I had a go. Mountain clouds. Tarukas pursue their dreams. Mountain clouds. Tarukas pursue their dreams. Okay, so you'll see here a dorado, which will be on your left if you're looking at the screen, and a piranha on your right if you're looking at the screen. If you're in the screen, we've got a problem. Only one person gets to be inside the screen at any one time. I'm going to tell you a little story about the dorado and the piranha. So there were all these dorados. They were waiting in the Pantanal River beneath the fig trees. And they were looking up at the fig trees, and the figs were getting ready to drop, and the dorados were getting excited, and they were waiting for the fig to drop. So when a fig drops into the water, splash, shoals of fish come to feed on it, thus providing the dorados with a feast, a nice figgy feast. Meanwhile, the piranhas are waiting in the wings, and they wait there until the dorados are done before feasting on what's left. And they come over and they get all the remains, and they go gobble 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 gobble, and they eat what's left, and they get their meal because piranhas they do goblin. Dorados predict a fig dropping fish. Dorados predict a fig dropping fish. Dropping fish. Piranhas thank the fig. Dropping fish, the piranhas thank the fig. And here's the armadillo. We all know the armadillo, of course. It wraps itself up in a ball like that. Farewell, summer. Young armadillo packs up itself. So the armadillo is found in the Amazon rainforest, hibernates during the day in the summer, and comes out at night when it's cooler, vice versa in the winter. So with this haiku, I was trying to do some anthropomorphic stuff. That word. Farewell, summer. Young armadillo packs up itself. And now we go to the final continent in our journey, Antarctica. And here's a yellow king penguin. Um, this photo is one of the only photo. Might be some more now, but when it was taken by Yves Adams. Before that, no photo. The yellow and white appearance is caused by leucism, which is a genetic mutation which causes a lack of pigment. Although a few have been spotted before, this is the first one to be photographed, which you just saw there. So thank you, Yves, for your lovely photo. Daybreak, dawning on the achromic yellow king penguin. Daybreak, dawning on the achromic yellow king penguin. This is an Antarctic midge. Antarctic midge is a real name, and its real name is the Belgica antarctica. It's the only Antarctic insect, measuring at just 2 to 6 millimeters in length. Mostly found on land, but known to float on water. And yeah, the larvae are their larvae for 2 years, but live for only 7 to 10 days, which isn't very long if you've got a lot of things to be doing. A snowflake for a moment. Antarctic midge. A snowflake for a moment. Antarctic midge. Nematines. Now, I thought these were apt for the Antarctic continent. Someone described them in an interview I saw as being like death themselves when they were pulled out of the water and they were all clinging to the dead fish, sucking the life out of them or sucking the death out of them. They were already dead. And they're found all over the world, but in particularly high population in Antarctic waters. They can grow up to 2 meters. And they live as deep in the ocean as 3,590 meters. They catch their prey by firing an adhesive barbed proboscis at annelids, crustaceans, clams, and living and dead fish. Thanatos, slipping further into the dark nematines. So, in Greek mythology, Thanatos personified death at the entrance to the underworld, carrying humans off at the end of their time allotted by the fates. So let's have a look again. Thanatos slipping further into the dark nematines. And this is the Antarctic toothfish. They're kind of cool because they have antifreeze glycoproteins enabling them to live in sub-zero waters. King tide, Antarctic toothfish begin to crown. So king tide is a high spring tide and is above the highest water level reached at high tide on an average day. King tide, Antarctic toothfish begin to crown. Okay, so that's the last haiku I'm going to share from my book for a moment. But what I wanted to do, which I hadn't done in the other parts, so if you've made it to part 3, well done. You get a little treat now. I'm going to, in this book, I've also got, well, that's gone funny. Look at that. Oh, there it is. And in this book, there's 7 montages, one for each continent of the world. So I'm just going to share a couple of those so you can see what they're like. And if you want more, you can buy the book and see them all. So here's one. They come full page in the book. This one's from Europe. So if you watched part 1 of this little video series, you would remember the European haiku, the magpie. Magpie's down there, I think, on the bottom right. And there's a lemming in there. There's a little honeybee. There's a squirrel. There's a cat. There's an Apollo butterfly. I think there's even a red admiral. And there's lots of other wildlife. And the idea is that you get to read that chapter of the book, and then you can see if you can spot all the wildlife. It's like a just a bit of fun, really. And this one you'll find in the Africa chapter of the book. So again, if you join me for part one in this video series, you will have heard me read the haiku about the plane squeaker, and that can be seen on your top left there, upside down, the upside down plane squeaker, seeing in the night. There's a zebra. There's a zebra foal that we talked about, and there's a hyena in there. There's a lion. I think that's an aardvark. And right at the top there, you can see a shoebill. I'm not going to give them all away, but yeah, that's what you can find in the book. And of course, every page has its own kind of little black and white illustration alongside the haiku. Show again. There's one of the montages. That's how they appear in the book. Thank you for watching. If you watched all three parts, I thank you all three times. It's called Faunistics, my book. It's a collection of wild haiku and illustrations. It's available on rcthomasthings.com. If you buy one there, you get a free bookmark, which has a haiku on it, which isn't featured in the book because I ran out of space basically, and didn't want to waste them. So you could do that, or you could buy it from Amazon, which will save you some postage. Like, if you're in different parts of the world, Amazon worldwide, hit up your local Amazon, type in RC Thomas, Faunistics, and click a couple of buttons, and it'll be sent straight to you. Thank you for joining me. You could also find me at RC Thomas Things on Instagram, Facebook, X, and Threads. Look me up there. Otherwise, I see you somewhere at some time. Goodbye.